We are joined with James Crane from the Kent County Council Community Wardens. James, how can you make yourself more visible when walking on an unlit road?
Yeah, I mean, it partly follows on from the previous question about which side of the road should you walk on when there's no footpath. Because sometimes when there's no footpath, there are no lights. I mean, it's not a hard and fast thing, but it's sometimes the way things go. So, how can you make yourself more visible on an unlit road at night? Well, most simply, wear bright clothing. It's surprising how much warm clothing that's manufactured is actually in dark, sober colours. I mean, I've got a woolly hat in my pocket. That's in black. I've got again loads of warm winter thermal clothes at home. They're all in dark blues, blacks, reds. I mean, red's not too bad. It's fairly visible, but there's not that much that gets done in the bright, luminous colours such as the high-vis tabards and that. Because most of the warm clothing is fine for motorists, but not necessarily for pedestrians. So, preferably, wear a bright reflective coat and/or a pair of leggings. I mean, you can pick them up fairly cheaply from some of the local stores. If this isn't done, consider as a minimum just wearing a reflective sash over your outer garments. I think Halfords sell them fairly cheaply for motorcyclists and that, so they are about and available. Secondly, carry a torch. Powerful torches today are fairly small, reasonably lightweight. Many of these are LED design. You can actually buy LED conversions for some of the normal torches. I mean, I've done that with one of my mag lights in my pocket. It's one of these that takes two AA batteries, transferred it from the bulb to the LEDs, 3 LEDs, gives that a really bright light. I was showing Daniel it earlier tonight, and it's amazing the amount it lit up in here.
Yeah, very bright.
Yeah, LEDs, they're really reliable, extremely bright, and the light they will give out can be seen more easily than a conventional torch bulb. And many of these torches are capable of flashing their beam, and a flashing light can actually be more noticeable than a steady light. And finally, on this, walk where you can be seen. I mean, I don't expect people to walk in the middle of the road, even if there isn't a footpath. It's just foolish. Don't walk in the middle of the road. But at the same time, it's equally foolish to skulk in the banks and hedgerows where drivers would find it hard to spot you, even if they were expecting you to be there.
James, what advice do you have with us regarding boxes and packaging being left out for collection?
Yeah, I mean, often people leave boxes and packaging outside their houses awaiting collection by the dustbin team, and whereas this is actually quite handy because it basically gets it away from your premises as quickly as possible. This can actually give valuable clues to crooks when new and valuable items are indoors. It's especially true at Christmas time. Yeah, so I've said the C word now, Christmas. So yeah, it's especially true at Christmas time, and many crooks patrol residential areas, especially for the purpose of gaining intelligence on such matters. But whether it's Christmas or not, be aware that others might have an unhealthy interest in what you throw away. Very often, packaging can be torn up into pieces small enough to go basically inside your wheelie bin, and often such packaging can be taken to the local recycling facility and disposed of immediately after festivities, thus removing any chance of clues being handed out to crooks. Televisions, electrical equipment and other large items can generally be delivered and set up by the retailer, who will also remove the unwanted packaging. So, my advice to you is take advantage of this when you can, and thus removing all evidence of the new goods the moment they are in place. Neither should you leave the old television or DVD player, etc., on show awaiting collection by the bin team, as this too implies that a new piece of equipment has been or will soon be bought. And by giving some thought to the matter, you will soon see how obvious it becomes to outsiders that you have just purchased some new equipment that will provide the thief with something to sell to fund their lifestyles. So deny them the opportunity of stealing your goods by not letting them know about them in the first place. And so another thing is to remember to shred your bank details and mix them up as much as possible, as some rubbish collections have clear bags. So yeah, just take trouble to remove clues of this type.
We are talking to James Crane from the Kent County Council Community Wardens this evening here at the Monday Night Community Show.